Marla with the Entrepreneurs Club of America. We're interviewing Mr. Frank Manning, who is an attorney with Manning Law here in Mentor, Ohio. We wanted to interview Frank because he has so much experience counseling and helping entrepreneurs in this area and probably beyond this area. Frank, thanks for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. I'm honored to have the opportunity, quite honestly.
Have a few questions for you.
Sure.
I don't know how many companies that you have worked with, but most of your law practice deals with small business, I assume.
Yes, it does.
And so you've seen a lot of businesses come and go.
Yes.
And you see them make good decisions as entrepreneurs and bad decisions as entrepreneurs.
Yes.
I know as a recovering entrepreneur, I probably made more bad decisions than I did good decisions, but somehow I failed my way to reasonable success. If you can think back on a variety of entrepreneurs that you've talked to, what's their biggest mistake?
Well, it depends at the stage they're in, but in the beginning stages, because an entrepreneur has the spirit of creating business, even when they have a growing business, they want a new business. They always have business ideas. And one of the biggest mistakes, and one of the things I counsel people on pretty seriously in the beginning, is getting the right partners. And by partners, I mean oftentimes when someone wants to open a business, it's an idea that came across between conversation with somebody else. And what they want to do is themselves, it's kind of like they create their little team. And it's me and the guy that I works next to me at the office or in the shop, we have this idea and we want to do this thing. And I listen to the idea and a thing, and the way they express it, and they lay it out for me. But what I'm doing throughout the time is kind of evaluating, are they the right partners? Do they have the right partners? Because I've seen so many times you'll have individuals, and it could be multiple. I've had my room filled with people who wanted to start one business. And it's a marriage. It's a relationship as deep and as sometimes with as many requirements as a marriage. And you need to make sure both people are committed at the same level. Oftentimes what I tell them straight out is, you guys need to sit down amongst yourselves once you're gone from your men and women, and you need to make sure that you're all committed for the same level for the same period of time. Meaning that, is everybody willing to, if it requires, cash in your job, go to this location and work it for a year, 6 months, how long can you withstand it? If the individuals are married, I make sure every one of them, at least I express to them, you need to go back and every one of you need to make sure that your spouse is involved and is engaged in this as you are. You know, a spouse can listen to another spouse talk about a dream they have of creating a business or an idea they have, and they'll humor them, for lack of a better term. But when you go home and say, okay, tomorrow's my last day at work, we're going to go forward with this opportunity, how committed is that individual?
I have a business advisor that I know that said the first thing he asks people when they want to start a company is, how's your marriage?
Right.
So I think you're onto something there.
Oh yeah, and that's big. And I can't tell you how many times I've had groups, 2 or 3 people leave, and maybe 1 or 2 or a smaller group come back, because that's the core. The idea of owning a business and driving a Ferrari and having a huge house and wonderful vacations can embrace any of us. But the work involved to even own a modest home and a business of modest success, but something you can be proud of, is extraordinary. And you got to be committed to it. You can't just do it as a lark.
Have you ever counseled somebody not to have any partners?
In fact, that is my counsel.
Is it?
You know, it depends on the skill sets required. It depends on the industry. But the preference is to not have partners if you can afford it.